Something is different from what it used to be.
Maybe it is something major. A new country. A new job. The end of something that mattered. The beginning of something uncertain.
Or maybe it is something quieter. A relationship that has shifted. A version of yourself that is no longer quite who you are. A chapter that ended without a dramatic moment, just a gradual becoming different.
And you need to talk about it. With a colleague who asks what is new, with a friend who wants to understand, with yourself, trying to make sense of where you are now compared to where you were.
But the English for change, for the complex, layered, emotionally complicated experience of things being different, most learners have only the most basic version.
Things have changed. I have changed. My life is different now.
And these sentences are true, but they say almost nothing about what the change actually is, how it happened, what it cost, what it opened, how you feel about it now.
Today, you get the complete English for change. Every kind of change, with all the vocabulary for the complicated feelings that come with it.
Stay with us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today.
B1 to B2 level English. Before we continue, please subscribe to Speak Unstoppable right now. One tap, new episodes every single day.
Subscribed? Good. Now, let's give you the English for one of the most important topics in any real conversation.
How are you feeling today, Maria?
Honestly, in transition, which is exactly the kind of state we are talking about today, and one that most people experience more often than they discuss.
Thank you for being here. Let's go.
Okay. I want to start with a question that has a complicated answer.
What question?
How has your life changed in the last 2 years?
For most people, when they sit with that question, honestly, the answer is significant. More significant than the surface-level things have been busy suggests.
New situations. Old situations that ended. Versions of yourself that no longer feel accurate. Relationships that have shifted, deepened, or distanced.
And the ability to talk about all of this accurately, specifically with the right vocabulary, it is one of the most important communication skills in any language.
Because change is the topic of real conversation, not what you are doing. What has been different? What that difference means? How you are navigating it.
Today, the complete English for that conversation. Let's start with the vocabulary for different kinds of change. Because not all change is the same, and English has distinct language for each type.
Gradual change that happens slowly, over time, without a clear moment of transition.
I did not notice it happening, but gradually, over about a year, my perspective on this completely shifted.
It was not one moment. It was a slow accumulation of experience that eventually added up to something different.
Sudden change that happens quickly, without warning, that requires immediate adaptation.
Everything changed overnight. One day, this was the situation, and the next day, it was completely different.
The change was abrupt. I did not have time to prepare. I had to adapt to the new reality very quickly.
Planned change you chose and prepared for.
This was a deliberate decision. I have been building toward this change for a long time.
I initiated this. It was not something that happened to me. I chose it, planned it, and made it happen.
Unexpected change you did not choose and did not see coming.
I did not choose this. It was imposed on me, and I have been navigating it since.
The change caught me completely off guard. I had no plan for this situation.
And the vocabulary for the scale of change.
This is a minor adjustment, not a fundamental shift, just a change in how something works.
This is a significant transition, one of the bigger changes I have navigated in my adult life.
This is a complete transformation. Almost nothing about my situation is the same as it was.
Okay, because change is never just a factual event. It always comes with feelings, often complicated, often contradictory.
And the English for these feelings is some of the most important vocabulary we can give you today.
Ambivalent about change. I have mixed feelings about this change. Part of me is relieved, and part of me is grieving what I am leaving behind.
Nostalgic, I feel nostalgic for the way things used to be. Not that they were perfect, but there was a familiarity that I miss.
Disoriented, the change has left me feeling disoriented, like the map I had for my life no longer corresponds to the territory.
Disoriented, this is an important word. Not lost exactly, but uncertain of your orientation. Not knowing quite which direction you are facing.
Unsettled, I feel unsettled. Like the ground has shifted slightly and I have not yet found my footing in the new situation.
Cautiously optimistic, I feel cautiously optimistic about what this change could produce, aware that it is uncertain, but seeing real possibility.
Reluctant. I feel reluctant about this change. I can see the logic of it, and I am still not fully ready for it.
Overwhelmed by the newness there is so much that is different that I feel overwhelmed. I do not know where to focus first.
At peace with it, I have reached a place of acceptance with this change. I do not love that it happened, and I am at peace with where it has taken me.
Still processing, I am still processing this change. I do not have a clear sense of how I feel about it yet, and I am giving myself time to find out.
Okay. The specific phrases for describing what is actually different in your life, your work, your relationships, yourself.
Phrases for describing changed circumstances.
My situation has changed significantly. I am now, whereas before I was.
Things look very different from this side. A year ago, I was, and now I am navigating.
The context has shifted. What was true before is no longer true, and I am still adjusting to the new reality.
Phrases for describing how you have changed personally.
I am not the same person I was when this started. This experience changed me in ways I am still understanding.
My priorities have shifted. Things that mattered a great deal to me before matter less now. And things I barely noticed have become central.
I have developed a different relationship with since this happened. My perspective is genuinely different now.
I think I have grown through this not easily, not without difficulty, but there is something about who I am now that was not there before.
Phrases for describing what was lost.
I miss certain things about how it used to be, not all of it, but specific things.
There is a grief in this change as well as a relief. Something genuine was lost, even if something better was gained.
I had not fully realized how much that mattered to me until it was no longer there.
Phrases for describing what was gained.
This change, as difficult as it has been, has opened things that would not have been available without it.
I have found things in this new situation that I did not expect, things that genuinely surprise me with how much they have come to mean.
The difficulty was real. And what came through the difficulty I am genuinely grateful for.
Let's focus specifically on professional change. Because work change, new jobs, new roles, new industries, redundancy, career transitions, it is one of the most common and most discussed forms of change.
Phrases for talking about a new job or role.
I recently made a career transition. I moved from to. It has been an adjustment, but the direction feels right.
I am in a new role. I am still in the process of finding my footing, learning the specific demands, and figuring out where I can contribute most.
The change has been challenging in the specific ways that any new environment is, and I feel confident that the challenge is productive.
Phrases for talking about job loss or redundancy.
I was made redundant recently. It was not expected, and I am navigating what comes next. Redundant in British English, this specifically means your job was eliminated, not that you personally were found insufficient.
My position was eliminated as part of a restructuring. It was not a reflection of my performance, and the experience has been difficult nonetheless.
I am currently between roles. I am using the time to, and I am actively looking for the right next step.
Phrases for talking about a deliberate career change.
I made a deliberate decision to change direction. I had been in for years, and I reached a point where the work was no longer aligned with what I wanted to contribute.
I am in a career transition. It is new territory and it feels like the right kind of uncomfortable.
The right kind of uncomfortable, this is an important phrase. The discomfort of growth, of doing something new and worthwhile, as opposed to the discomfort of staying somewhere wrong. Okay, the language of navigating change. Not just describing it, but talking about how you are moving through it.
Phrases for adapting.
I am still finding my feet in this new situation. It takes time, and I am patient with the process.
I have been learning as I go. There is no way to be prepared for everything, and I have been discovering what I need as I need it.
I am adjusting to the new normal. Some things are still surprising, and some things have already become routine.
I am navigating this by focusing on what I can control while accepting what I cannot.
Phrases for resilience in change.
This has been one of the more challenging periods I have navigated, and I have genuinely surprised myself with what I have been able to handle.
I would not have chosen this difficulty, and it has revealed something about my capacity that I did not fully know was there.
I have gotten through harder things. That does not make this easy, but it does make it manageable.
Phrases for uncertainty in change.
I do not know exactly where this leads yet, and I am more comfortable with that uncertainty than I expected.
There is a lot that is still unclear. I am sitting with the uncertainty rather than trying to force premature clarity.
I have stopped trying to predict what comes next. I am focused on what is needed right now and trusting that the direction will become clearer.
And finally, the change that is most directly relevant to every listener of this podcast. The change in your English.
Because English learning is itself a process of change, and talking about that change, recognizing it, naming it, feeling the genuine satisfaction of it, that is part of the learning itself.
My English has changed significantly in the past year. Things I struggled to express, I can now say naturally.
I remember when conversations like this would have been completely inaccessible to me. The change has been gradual enough that I sometimes do not notice it, but when I look back, it is significant.
I am not the same English speaker I was when I started, and I am not yet who I am becoming. I am somewhere in the middle, and that is exactly the right place to be.
The change in my English confidence has been the most significant. Not just what I can say, but my willingness to attempt it.
I feel the change most in moments when I realize I understood something without translating, or when I expressed something complicated and was genuinely understood.
And the phrase that captures the entire experience of English language change.
I am not fluent yet. I am becoming fluent. And the becoming, the process, the gradual change is something I am learning to value rather than see as a failure of arrival.
Can I say something about what the ability to talk about change in English actually produces?
Please.
When you can describe change precisely the type, the feelings, the what was lost and what was gained, the uncertainty, the adaptation, you can have real conversations about real life.
Not just what you do, what has happened, how it has affected you, what it means.
And these conversations, the ones about what is genuinely happening, they are the conversations that create genuine connection, that allow other people to actually know you rather than just know about you.
And for English learners, this is the vocabulary that closes the gap between the surface version of you that English sometimes allows and the full, complex, genuine person that your first language can express.
The vocabulary for change, for all its forms, for all its feelings, for navigating it and describing it and making sense of it in English.
This is not just English skill. This is the language of a full human life, and you are building it right now.
Remember this, the ability to describe change in English is the ability to be fully yourself in English, in all your complexity, in all your history, in all your becoming.
Describing change is describing yourself, and you deserve to be fully describable in English. Word tour time.
Word 1, transition. The process of changing from one state or condition to another, a period of movement between what was and what will be. Example 1, she was in transition not quite where she had been and not yet where she was going. The in-between is its own distinct experience. Example 2, English learning itself is a transition from not having a language to having it. And transitions, by nature, are temporarily uncomfortable.
Word 2, disoriented. Confused about where you are or what your orientation is. Uncertain of your position in a changed landscape. Example 1, the change left him disoriented. The mental map he had been using no longer corresponded to the actual territory of his life. Example 2, disorientation in English learning, happens when your level increases faster than your confidence does, when you can do more than you believe you can.
Word 3, redundant. In professional contexts, having a position eliminated, typically due to organizational changes rather than personal performance. Example 1, she was made redundant during the restructuring, a genuinely difficult experience that had nothing to do with the quality of her contribution. Example 2, redundant English phrases, the kind that add words without adding meaning, are worth eliminating from your communication. Directness is always more powerful than padding.
Word 4, ambivalent. Feeling two contradictory things about the same situation simultaneously. Example 1, he felt ambivalent about the change, genuinely glad about what it had opened, and genuinely sad about what it had closed, simultaneously and without resolution. Example 2, it is possible to feel ambivalent about your English progress, proud of how far you have come, and frustrated by how far there still is to go. Both feelings are accurate. Both deserve acknowledgement.
Word 5, adaptation. The process of adjusting to new conditions. Changing your behavior or approach to suit a different environment. Example 1, The adaptation to the new situation took longer than she expected, and it happened more completely than she thought it would. Example 2 English adaptation, finding ways to express complex ideas in the language you are building, is one of the most creative aspects of language learning.
Word 6, navigating. Moving through a complex or uncertain environment with skill and attention. Managing a difficult situation. Example 1, she had been navigating the change one day at a time, not with a complete map, but with enough visibility for the next step. Example 2, navigating English, finding your way through conversations that require vocabulary you do not yet have, builds the resourcefulness that fluent speakers rely on constantly.
One thing this week.
Describe one change in your life, in writing, in English more completely than you normally would.
Not just what changed, the type of change, the feelings it brought, what was lost and what was gained, how you are navigating it.
Here is your sentence template.
Something in my life has changed recently, and the full picture is more complicated than I usually describe. What changed was name it. The type of change was gradual or sudden, chosen or unexpected. The feelings it brought were name them specifically. What I lost was name it honestly. What I gained was name it honestly. And right now I am navigating it by describe your real approach.
Write that. In English. As completely as you can. For yourself.
Not for anyone else. For you. As a practice of full expression. Of being completely yourself in English.
Mean every word.
Comment challenge.
What is one change in your life that you have never fully described in English?
Write using this sentence.
A change I have been navigating is write your change in the comments. The most complicated feeling it has brought is write your feeling in the comments. And what I am learning through it is write your insight in the comments.
Write it. In English. In the comments.
Because describing change in English, honestly, completely that is exactly what builds the English that lets you be fully yourself in the language.
We read every comment.
Please give this a like.
New episode every single day on Speak Unstoppable.
Thank you for being here.
Describing change is describing yourself.
And you deserve to be fully describable.
In English.
Bye, everyone.